I made my husband sleep in the garage on Christmas Eve, and what his mom said to him will live in my mind forever. I know how that sounds, but you need to understand what he did first. 2 days before Christmas, I came home from a grocery run to find 3 extra cars in my driveway and suitcases piled in my hallway. My husband Greg had invited his parents, his sister, his brother-in-law, and their 2 kids to stay with us for the entire week without telling me. The guest rooms were filled with storage boxes, we barely had enough food for ourselves, and I hadn't cleaned in days. I pulled Greg aside and told him I needed help getting everything ready, and he just shrugged and said, "My family isn't picky. You'll figure it out like you always do." For the next hour, I ran around like a maniac while Greg sat in the living room drinking the beers I had bought for Christmas Day. I hauled storage boxes into closets, stripped beds, and remade them with fresh sheets, and tried to figure out how I was going to feed 10 people for the next 5 days. His mother followed me around making comments like, "Oh, I would have organized this differently, but that's just me." His sister's kids were tearing through the house screaming while my own children stared at me wondering what was happening. Around 3 in the afternoon, Greg grabbed his keys and said, "I need to run out and grab a few things." I asked him to please hurry back because I needed help with dinner, and he kissed my forehead and promised he'd be quick. That was the last time I saw him for 8 hours. I texted him at 4 asking where he was and got back, "Traffic is crazy, be there soon." I texted him at 5 while chopping vegetables for a meal I had to triple in size and got nothing. I texted him at 7 while serving dinner to his entire family by myself, and he finally responded with, "Be home soon." His father asked where Greg was, and I had to smile and say he was running errands while everyone at the table exchanged looks like they knew something I didn't. After dinner, his mother cornered me in the kitchen and said, "You know, when I hosted Christmas, I always had everything done by noon." I just nodded and kept scrubbing dishes while his sister sat 10 feet away scrolling on her phone without offering to help once. Later that night, his father made me remake the couch 3 times because the sheets weren't tucked tight enough, and when I finally got it right, he said, "Greg's first wife never had this much trouble." By 11 o'clock, I had been on my feet for 8 straight hours without a single break, and I sat on the edge of my bed staring at the wall because I was too exhausted to even cry. Greg walked through the door at 12:06 with a stupid grin on his face and a small gift bag in his hand.